The title of the message is The Triumph of Grace and Favor. And I just read the scriptures, John chapter 9, verse 1 to 11. Today's bread, I have divided it in three parts. Number one, grace that locates. Number two, grace that heals. And number three, grace that testifies. Let me just repeat that. Grace that locates, grace that heals, grace that testifies. As you know, this month of June, we have been focusing on the two words, grace and favor. Uplifted, open door, of favor. The open door of grace. We have emphasized grace and favor. And I am happy that at the end of the month of June, I can bring the conclusion of the season with this title, The Triumph of Grace and Favor. Grace that locates, favor at your door. I will read verse 1 to 5. Grace that locates, favor at your door. And so you don't have to travel very, very far to find favor or to find grace. In our season and dispensation, grace and favor are standing at the door. John chapter 9, from the text, verse 1 to 5. As he went along, he saw a man born blind. His disciples asked him, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Because there was a belief then that if somebody was suffering or struggling, that struggle or that pain was rooted somewhere in the genealogy. And it was connected to sin. And it's because somebody sinned within the genealogy that a certain generation is struggling and suffering. There was that kind of belief. Neither this man, that is the answer of Jesus, nor his parents sinned. But this happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him. And I want to say that some of the challenges we are facing today are there so that God may do a work. And today I'm saying God is going to do a work of grace, an amazing work of grace, so that he may demonstrate his power. As long as it is day, we must do the works of him who sent me. Night is coming when no one can work. While I am in the world, I am the light of the world. Favor at your door, grace that locates, grace that heals. And this is favor at work. And I have said grace is not just an ornament to be admired, and described in big theological language and theological terms. Grace is experience of favor unleashed. Favor unleashed. The experience of favor unleashed. And this favor is totally unmerited. This gentleman, I'm sure, had not put in his calendar that on this particular day, I'm going to experience healing. This is in God's timing, God's discretion, and it's all unmerited. The work you're about to hear is all favor. The language I'm going to speak as I read the verses now, it's all favor. It's all the work of heaven happening in the life of a person. And it's happening so fast. It is happening so suddenly. And let me say this. Whatever situation that is in your life, God can sort it out in a second. Is somebody connecting with this? But finally, of course, grace that testifies. Grace that testifies. And this is favor proclaimed. In verse 8, it says the following. His neighbors and those who had formerly seen him begging asked, isn't this a man, the same man who used to sit and beg? Some claimed that he was. Others said, no, he only looks like him. But he himself insisted, I am the man. How then were your eyes open? They asked. He has a chance now to proclaim how this favor has come. He has a chance to give a testimony. He replied, the man called Jesus made some mud and put it on me, on my eyes. He told me to go to Siloam and wash. So I went and washed. And then what happened? And then I could see. I don't know how often you share your testimony, but your testimony is a statement of God's grace and favor in your life. And you owe it to yourself and to the kingdom to share that testimony. I am telling you, grace testifies and favor proclaims.